I will tell you that I am aware of at least one aerospace company that is actively making moves to try to divest itself, allegedly, of one craft that it possesses.
Wow. Okay.
And if you think about it, think about the legal implications. Have a read of the legislation. If you're an aerospace company and you've divested yourself of an object that you've had possession of for 60 or 70 years, are you then legally obliged to reveal that all this time you've secretly been holding it? This is the really interesting thing is I think that what's happening at the moment inside private aerospace, and this is why there's a need, frankly, for the government to take leadership on this, because this could get really messy. Because one of the other issues, Matt, I know for a fact is one of IP. As a lawyer, I was trained in intellectual property. It's an area I take a great interest in. And I do think that if a firm, for example, was vested by the government 50, 60, 70 years ago, let's just say these allegations are correct and a private aerospace company was gifted technology 50, 60, 70 years ago, and that technology is still in their possession and they've been spending billions of dollars trying to develop it. On what basis can the government assert any kind of property right?
Right.
I'm on their side. I mean, frankly, if you're an aerospace company and you were given this, there was no commercial contract signed between you and the government at the time, and I'm told there wasn't. And essentially, if all you're doing is quietly accounting every now and then to some faceless general for what you're up to and showing them the latest tests of the technology, on what legal basis can the state assert any kind of property right over that technology? And moreover, if, as I understand, there have been private aerospace companies that have done retrievals of their own involving private military contractors without government involvement, on what legal basis can the government dictate to a private corporation that it has any right to know about that intellectual property?
Very fair points.
I think these are the issues. This is why this is a big issue. And one of the dynamics as well that's going on behind the scenes here is, I know because I've been approached by some of them, there are people, especially in Silicon Valley, who are aware of the alleged vesting of technology in certain aerospace companies, including Lockheed Martin, by the way. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's name them Lockheed Martin.
Right, yeah.
And people are aware of the fact that companies like Lockheed Martin were vested technology 60, 70 years ago. And they're pissed. They're angry because why should the government be giving favourable treatment to a private corporation?
Right.
There is a very good argument that the government has acted improperly by giving exclusive technology use to an individual corporation that, if we're to accept the truth of what is being asserted by some of these witnesses, has not been adequately scientifically investigated. So if they've failed to do their job, these private corporations, if they've completely failed to achieve the breakthroughs in this technology, why the fuck are we letting them continue to hold on to it? And part of the problem is that the government didn't make commercial agreements, I'm told. There are no contracts. There's nothing to regulate this. So this is the growing issue. This is what's vexing people at the level of the National Security Council, because I know there are private conversations taking place between private aerospace companies and senior people in government where they're saying, hold off, guys, what right have you got to tell us what to do with our technology? And I think they've got a point.
I think they do too.